conversations with our queens from across the world. They are entertaining, educating with tons of passion. Welcome to the show, Queens Forever. It's a beautiful world out there. In every girl, there is a queen. Speak to the queen, and the queen will answer. Welcome to our show, Queens Forever, brought to you by River Comics, only on IndusTV in association with V International. We are truly delighted to meet all the brilliant, intelligent beauty all across the world in our very exclusive show, where, of course, our queen for today belongs to the United States. Let me tell you, she's all of 18, but won hearts all across. It's time for us to welcome our Miss India Florida 2021 and Miss India USA Miss Popularity 2021. Now, before calling out her name, as we always say, the message that all the queens give is about peace, harmony, and happiness. Her name itself speaks about volumes of happiness. Let's welcome the very beautiful, gorgeous, and talented Khushi Patel. Ahuja, welcome to you, Khushi.
Hey, nice to be here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And look at your smile. It's truly magnificent. And that's what
Thank
I said.
you.
It says it all. So I don't know whether to give it to the crown, the credit, or to the name itself that you're born with. So, Khushi, please tell us about your dream. How did it all happen? Tell us something about your childhood.
Well, as a child, I grew up in India for 5 years and then I moved to the United Kingdom before moving to the United States. And so a lot of my characteristics come from watching different types of culture being adapted in different countries. And being Indian, obviously Bollywood is always something that I've been interested in. I love watching Bollywood movies, listening to Bollywood songs, dancing to them. So that's kind of how it all fell into place. And then when I moved to America, I realized that there were so many opportunities out here for me to really expose myself to the Bollywood field. And then I found my pageants and everything just worked out great for me.
I have something very interesting to ask you about Bollywood
Yeah.
and the Indian film industry. But before that, please tell us which was that question which made you wear the crown? What was that final question? And tell us about how did you feel while answering that question?
Well, actually, for me, I was really happy that I was given this question because I was one of the last people to be asked during the Q&A round. And so I was like, oh, these are all the questions. Like, I'm going to get like a really hard one. I don't know what's going to happen. But for me, my question was, which Bollywood celebrity do you feel inspired by and who would you want to follow their steps in? And my answer was Sushmita Sen because she actually won a huge pageant in 1994. And for me, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to win a global pageant, one of the five top pageants like Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss Supernatural. And she was a perfect example for me because that's where I see myself in a few years from now, working towards that from Miss Florida, Miss India. And, I just want to take step by step to be where she's at.
As you already mentioned, that yes, it's your dream. It's always been about Bollywood and about the Indian film industry. Who do you think? Do you know someone in the United States, since you put up there, you could think of who could make you really connect and join the dots with the Indian film fraternity?
Yes, well, we actually have our very well known and trusty, reliable promoter in the Bollywood industry here in the United States, but not only in America, he's also very well known and does a lot of work in India, Mr. Bharat Godaria, who actually brought me to the show today and gave me the opportunity to be the chief guest of one of the biggest New Year's Eve events in Texas, Houston. So I was actually there for 3 days over New Year's Eve, and it was all because of him. I got to experience an amazing event where there was like hundreds of people who were out there, waiting for me to come out from backstage and put myself out there. So thanks to him, I was able to do that. And there's been many events where he's actually promoted me. So a great thanks to him. And I honestly love what he does. I love what he does for me, and I'm sure he can help me make it to the film industry someday.
Wow, that's absolutely fabulous
Yes.
because he's so loved with our Indian film industry and our Bollywood fraternity. And
Yeah.
trust me, every single Bollywood star would love to dream to be a part of his endeavors. But let me tell you, Khushi, there is a surprise for you. It's time for all of us because he's here to welcome you as well. May we please welcome
Let's
our
bring
Mr.
him in. Let's bring him
promoter
in.
of art and culture in the United States of America, Mr. Bharat Goradia ji.
Hi, Khushi. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very, very fine. As I always say, who in this world would not like to see and share the screen with two of the most beautiful, multi-talented title holders on the screen? Yeah, it's really, really my privilege. I think my new year has begun with a wonder. I mean, it's on a very bang for the new year to have Simran and you on the screen, both the title holders. But सबसे पहले तो टीवी इंडस टीवी के सारे दर्शकों को भरत गुड़िया का सादर प्रणाम. सिमरन को नमस्ते एंड खुशी आपको ग्लोबल नमस्ते बिकॉज नाउ यू आर ऑन एन इंटरनेशनल अरेना. आपने फ्लोरिडा का तो मन जीत लिया है एंड एंटायर पटेल कम्युनिटी वंस दे सो एंड सी दैट यू हैव वन द क्राउन of Miss India USA popularity. All Patel were dancing, and then now all Gujus are also dancing, just as what Punjabis are on the top of the world because Miss Sandhu has won Miss Universe. And we hope and pray to God that within very few severe times, you will come across and win the title of either Miss Universe or Miss World. That's what we always, from the bottom of our heart, feels. All good Jews and all everybody in USA would love to see you winning that title. But on behalf of our sponsor, River Comics, We International, and IndusTV, it is my real privilege and pleasure to welcome you on one of the finest talks of all time, Queens Forever. And you really look like the youngest queen which has come on this particular Queens Forever. At the age of 18, you achieved so much. I think every young girl would love to see that, would love to achieve that. Now you've become a role model to young generations also. So once again, a very hearty welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm great. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Bharatji. We look forward to meeting you soon. And I'm going to request you to ask a lovely question to Khushi, but in a while from now. It's time for all of us to take a super short commercial break. Look forward to meeting you all and know the very amazing journey of Khushi Patel right after this. back, and we are here having a conversation with Khushi. So, Khushi, tell us, what was the best part of being a part of the beauty pageant?
Well, the best part to me was actually being able to meet all of the people that I met from the day that I walked into the place my pageant was at until we left. Because we took so many pictures and we started off being complete strangers. But by the time I left, they were like my second family. I had sisters, I had mothers, I had parents everywhere. I had people just helping me out. And there was just one thing after another that just made me so happy to be within that premises of the pageant.
Interesting. I want to request you to share with us the best memory that you remember and you still are fresh with, because you've just won it this year itself. And 2021 has already brought a very big spark in your life, and we just welcomed 2022. So, what is that best memory that you're carrying with yourself about the beauty pageant?
Well, the best memory for me would actually be right before the second day when we had our speech round. I was extremely nervous of the whole public speaking idea because the crowd was huge and the whole Royal Albert Palace was full of like those round tables with like 10 people on each table, and I would specifically think of how many people would be watching me, and so I was extremely nervous. But I remember how happy I felt when I got on that stage. I held the microphone and everyone started clapping, and I was like, wow, like this is amazing. And I remember I was smiling up there and all of like I had butterflies, but it just felt so good to be an influence to all of the people that were watching me. And that's something that's definitely going to stay with me forever.
They always visualize the invisible crown. Since the time you start the preparation, when was the first time you dreamt of yourself in the crown?
Well, actually, I've been watching pageants and fashion shows since I was young, since I was in early high school, and just fashion shows like the Lakme show or the bridal fashion show in India, things like that have always been very interesting to me. And I just think every time I think of it, I see myself as being one of those models. And when I started learning about how good and how I was the type of person that would want to do a pageant, I just looked at the crown and I was like, I can do this. If she can do it, I can do it. And as a girl that's moved countries several times, who studied in multiple different schools, and honestly, like started from the bottom, I've got here with this crown. So it's really just a privilege. And it started off as a dream. So the fact that I made it to stage one really just proves to me that I can definitely keep building up and be up there someday.
Wow. And, I want all the high school girls to look up to you and actually dream as big as you. So, is there some preparation you started right from then? Or do you think is 6 months or 1 year good enough to prepare for a beauty pageant? What is more important, that you start dreaming since high school and you start getting a lot of exposure? Or is it better that you prepare yourself 6 months to a year prior to the pageant?
Well, see, preparing is something that you need for everything. Like you have to prepare for your exams, you have to prepare for a vacation, or really anything you do. So for a pageant, the only thing that differs is the mindset, because walking into a pageant, you're gonna have so much competition. Like for me, I had girls from almost every state in the United States, which is 50 different girls, and they all want to win the crown. So what is it that makes me special and gives me the ability to win the crown that they don't have, or that maybe they haven't reached yet? So that type of mindset is what's more important rather than the physical preparation that you do. And so I would give it maybe like a few months, but there's really no time frame that you can put in a preparation. It's really about how dedicated you are and how much you want to get done within what you have. I only spent about 2 or 3 weeks because I was very, very I did not have a lot of time to prepare for my pageants, and so I had to go dress shopping. I had to fix my speech. I had to think about like who's going to be there and how I have to present myself, and it was a lot of stress on the plate. But I think if you take it step by step, and if you have people that can support you, like your family, your friends, then it shouldn't take that long of a time to be able to prepare for the crown.
Oh, that's interesting. So thank you to your family support that you made it this big, and we all are extremely proud. Khushi, I'm going to ask you, we always say beauty pageants, it's always about beauty inside out. And Beauty pageants nowadays always ask you about the belief that you have in doing honorary work and social service. So, what is that honorary work that you have experienced before the beauty pageant?
Well, before the beauty pageant, I was actually putting a lot of work into the medical field because that is what I want to do. I want to be a doctor aside being this Bollywood celebrity and modeling career. Medicine is something that I'm also interested in. And so I spent a lot of time in a pediatric hospital called Nemours here locally to Orlando. And I gave almost 120 hours of helping community service for younger kids. And that wasn't even something that I was told to do. It was something that like I woke up and said, wouldn't this be fun if I tried? And honestly, I loved it. So that's something I did before the pageant. And then after, when I realized that if I'm somebody that can help younger women and encourage them to try and achieve what I've achieved at my age of 18, like you said earlier, then I should do it. And so I started helping out younger ladies just in school, just like in those after school meetings where I can talk to them and be like, oh hey, so how was your day today? What did you learn? Is there anything that you'd want help on? Being a high school graduate, I can definitely go back to my high school or to those meetings that I used to go to before and just look back at it at like the younger me's and just be like, oh, is there anything I can do to help you? Or do you know anything to achieve this or get an A in this? And all those little things really just help me be a better person and help them learn more and be better people too.
Queens always make our world colorful as much as river comics do. So, for all those who really wonder what are river comics and these stories all about, all you need to do is download the app and make your and your loved ones' lives colorful. Thank you very much to River Comics Be International, and you're watching us only on IndusTV. I'm going to ask you about the competition with your pageant sisters, but right after the super short commercial break. See you guys soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for We International Founder, President, Chairman, Mr. Bharat Goradia, Bollywood star. Mr. Bharat Goradia with legendary singers from Indian music industry. He believes in spreading smiles over everyone's faces. Sports champion. The Dada Saheb Phalke Award and Bharat Gaurav Pride of India Award winner Mr. Bharat Goradia has been innumerably awarded across the globe for his outstanding work in the field of promoting Indian arts and culture all over the world.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for being here with us in the very exclusive and magnificent celebration of girls, ladies, and women. Queens forever. We are here with our lovely queen, Khushi Patel. Khushi, it always makes us feel a little uneasy when we talk about the competition with your pageant sisters. How was your experience prior to you reaching the pageant and then once you are at the pageant live with your sister queens?
So for me, it was a big rush walking into the pageant because I had to travel to get to the location of where it was going to be held. And I just went with my dad and my sister. That's the only two people that came with me to begin with. And my mom came later on. So I didn't really have my mom's support until last minute. And so when the pageant began, it was like, there's 2 days of it. Like this should be okay. But I stepped on the stage, and at the start, I was like, oh no, like I have all these eyes looking at me. I have everyone like judging what I'm going to do, how I'm going to speak or walk. And even though I know I have the practice, it's really the judges who decide if I'm ready or not, right? So it was like a lot of stress waking up each day with my roommate who I just met and was really just a complete stranger. To be able to grow with them for the next 2 days and learn so much about them and also try to compete with them in the pageant. It was like holding a friendship, but also a competition at the same time. And it was incredibly difficult for me because I'm just a very friendly and open person. So for me to be competing with my peers so very heavily was a challenge. But at the end, it worked out great. And at the end of the pageant, all of the families came together, and me and my friends ended up going out that night. And it was just a memory that I absolutely love.
I want you to share with our viewers some hilarious experience you had at the pageant, some laughing moments and some moments to cherish, some hilarious experience you had.
So our pageant was actually in like a hall, and we would prepare in the hall in the morning, and we would eat breakfast together, lunch together, dinner together, and then we'd go into our rooms, which was like just a few meters away from where we would study. And so when we came to the hall every morning, we had like a time like you have to be here at this time, and if you're not, like like it's not going to work out. And we had all this pressure that we were put under, for the best of us, of course. And I remember some girls would wake up at like 8:30, they'd come running downstairs, and then there'd be some girls that have been there since like 8 a.m. just waiting for the rest. And I remember I'd come there just like 5 or 10 minutes early. And there was this one girl, and she was like sick during the pageant, right? So she would be like have a tissue, she'd be like thinking her nose every like 5 minutes, and it was just so much stress that everyone like forget about each other and they have to just focus. And so that was like really funny to me because everyone like wakes up and comes downstairs, eats breakfast, and they're working towards the same thing, but they're doing it so differently to each other. Like one of them will be doing it while communicating with someone, one of them will be isolated in the corner, and they'll just be like looking at their laptop or like trying to practice or walk or their dance. And I'm the type of person that needs like a physical teaching to be able to do something. So I would get up and I'd just walk by myself, pretend it's a runway, and just put my AirPods in, walk to some music. So those little experiences were really fun because it was like a lot of stress, but it was also a lot of fun to be under that pressure.
That's pretty much interesting. And we come here towards the final round. That's the rapid fire round. Now, I know that it's not that easy to answer rapid fire, but we're going to get a lot of secrets out of you for this rapid fire round. So are you ready, Khushi?
Yes, I'm ready.
Your favorite round at the pageant?
There would be the talent round when I said my speech about coronavirus and how it infected mental health through the year of 2020.
Which beauty queen has inspired you? You did mention to us it's Sushmita Sen. And I want to ask you, is there any other queen post 94, who's really inspired you, who would like, to follow and ride on?
Yes, well, of course, we just saw our recent winning, Miss Sandhu. I think she is an amazing inspiration because, first of all, she's Indian, she's Punjabi. Punjab is a culture that I absolutely admire to begin with. The music, the food, and so to think that somebody that has lived there in like a small village their whole life comes out and does this huge international pageant and they actually win. It's crazy and it's absolutely amazing to look up to. So the small like charity events and the small things that she did, that's definitely something that I inspire to do as well.
I want you to describe your stiletto story. Now we all have different stories with our stilettos because we can't really hold them and be in them for very long. Do you have any particular story you'd like to share with the beauty queens and with everyone?
Well, first of all, I'm a really athletic person, so heels are not my everyday thing, but I've been trying to get used to them recently, and I absolutely love the style of pointy heels. But we all know that when you have 5 toes, there's no way you can cram them into a little triangle, like that as a queen, and all the queens and all the ladies out there, even the business ladies out there know that that's not true, right? So when we're walking in these heels, what we have to keep in mind is that take one step at a time, literally, and you'll get through it. Just take one step at a time in your mind and just know that it's almost over. The pain is almost gone. While you're doing that, take one actual step at a time, slowly and carefully, with your little cramped feet, and you'll make it. But I've definitely had that experience, and it's for everyone. You'll get blisters, but come on, beauty is pain, right?
I think we all have our little stories of stiletto. And my next question is also pretty much exciting, Khushi, where we want to know about that favorite food or favorite cuisine that you gave up on just before the pageant so that you prepare yourself and you get that perfect waist,
Yes.
the
Well,
waist
actually,
size and the curves. Which is that favorite
you'll
food
have
that
to
you
get
gave
it.
up on?
Well, I actually love pasta. It's like my favorite. It's my absolute favorite meal. And so Olive Gardens was what I had to drop for this pageant. And trust me, when I said I went there the week after my pageant finished, I went to Olive Gardens and I treated myself because I didn't eat any pasta for almost 2 months to stop the carbs from hitting my waist and hitting my hips and giving me those extra pounds I shouldn't. They don't need to be there for the pageant, right? So I gave up Alfredo, my favorite type of pasta, and I didn't eat that for a solid like 5 or 6 weeks. That's definitely the food that I gave up, and I hope I don't have to do it again.
What is the first thing you did after winning the crown? Did you make a call? Did
Um,
you take a bite for? Did you thank someone?
I actually ran down the stairs, and when everything was over, I went to my family. And before I could even do that, my sister came up to me. She was in tears. She was crying. She was like, "I'm so proud of you." And then she started hugging me, and I had a little family moment. And then we got photos with all of the people that were there, like the judges, people sitting at the table. Mr. Bharat was actually there too, and so we had him like talking to us, and it was just an amazing experience after the pageant finished. Because I could walk around with the crown at last. I was like, I deserve it. I have it now.
Wow. The toughest
Yeah.
round at the pageant which you experienced.
The toughest round would probably be the group runway that we did when we had to be in synchronized with the two people we were walking with. And one of them was actually my roommate. So for me, it was a little bit better than the other girls that had to do it. But we had to walk in complete patterns with the other two girls. And it was like, when they take a step, I have to take a step, but I have to keep my eyes in front of me, right? Like I can't be looking at my feet to see how the movement is going. And so it was so hard for me to like have that hand to feet or hand to mind coordination and like figure out where I need to go. And I don't look like I don't know where I'm going when I'm on that stage. It was pretty hard for me.
Uh-huh. If you had to finish your makeup in 3 minutes, Khushi, what do you think you like to use? 3 minutes makeup, a quick fix.
It would definitely be contour and lip gloss. Those are my two favorite things. I love to contour because it really defines the shape of my cheekbones, and I love lip gloss because obviously in a picture, because I'll be taking selfies all day, and the last thing I want is to have like those dry lips. So the lip gloss is definitely something that I would add in my 3 minute routine. I would start off with a little bit of primer, a little bit of like lotion just to moisten and just to make my face look a little bit brighter, and then just get some contour and lipstick or lip gloss. And if I have time, add some mascara or eyelashes because they always look extra good, don't they?
What's your winning mantra?
My winning mantra would be everybody has the will to win, but not everybody has the will to try their best to win. And this is because even when I started doing the pageants, it was like a lot of work that I had to suddenly just take into my everyday habit of, waking up, going to school, studying, going on a run and going to sleep. That's all I would do. And then as soon as the whole beauty pageant lifestyle came in, I had to change to having like an hour of exercise in the morning, an hour after I eat dinner, and then drinking water like 25 times a day and getting 3 gallons in all this. So that willpower and that mentality that gives me the power to want to win is what I think would be in my winning mantra, that if you have the will to win, then you will win.
Your favorite color for the swimwear round and the evening wear round?
My favorite color would actually be navy blue or like a royal blue because I think it's so professional. It's so elegant seeing a lady walk wearing navy blue. It's like an absolute it's like a definition of like a silk dress, like that dream silk dress that I see in my head. It's like a navy blue color with a few rhinestones here and there. Maybe red because red's also my favorite color when it comes to clothes.
Three attributes you think are a must have if you want to really win the crown.
So first of all, I would say to have high confidence, because you could look like you don't know what you're doing, but inside of you, if you know that, oh, this is what I'm going to do, I will do this, then that confidence really promotes how you act on stage. Secondly, it would definitely be the power of etiquette, like having that etiquette and elegance as a lady, to take one slow step and to like keep your hands slowly moving like this, and talking with a little bit of like a soft tone of talking, not being too like rough or not being too like attacky when you talk. And thirdly, it would just be having that bright smile. Like if you have that bright smile, who doesn't want to smile back, and who doesn't want to say hi to you or make you give you a crown to begin with, right? So just stay smiling.
Interesting. And my last question to you is, and there's a surprise for you after that. They say once a queen, always a queen. Do you believe in this proverb?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, once you have the crown, it's yours to keep. No one's going to take your crown away, right? So you're definitely going to stay being a queen. But that happiness and that courage that you have as a woman wearing the crown, or knowing that you have the crown secured with you, just makes you feel like a queen walking down a road, or going to college, or going to work. If you have that mindset of, oh, I did this one time, I did this last year, and I won this pageant, and I was competing with 50 other people, but I still won. That really gives you the power of knowing that you are a queen. And once you're a queen, always a queen. I believe that.
And I have a very special question, but for that, I'm going to once again invite our Mr. India, Mr. Bharat Goradia ji again.
Hi, Khushi. Pleasure to be back with you. Wonderful, wonderful. Anyway, I have a very interesting question to ask you. If given the opportunity to go on a date with any of the Bollywood, Hollywood, or any other celebrity of any parts of the world, whom would you go with, and where will you go, and what conversation, if at all, you will have with him or her?
Wow. Okay. So, this is a great question, and I hope it actually happens one day. But I would definitely say Aditya Roy Kapoor from Ashiki 2 is the guy I want to take on a date, because not only is he absolutely stunning, but his movie Ashiki 2 is my favorite movie, and the song Tum Hi Ho is my favorite Bollywood song. So the place I would want to go with him is actually the mountain range that he was in the movie Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, because I love doing like adventurous things. And so I just remember seeing that movie, and obviously it was a film, but if he did that in real life, can you imagine how amazing it would be doing it with him? And for a conversation I would have with him, honestly, just whatever he wants to talk about is fine. I'll sit and listen, whatever he wants to talk about.
What an amazing answer. What an amazing answer you gave. Thank you very much, Khushi. On behalf of our sponsor, River Comics, We International, and IndusTV, thank you so, so very much for sparing your valuable time, sharing your experiences, knowledge, and wisdom, which will be very, very useful to all the teens who are likely to contest for any beauty pageants, not only in USA, but all across the globe. So thank you so very much. All the very best in all your forthcoming projects, and wishing you a very, very happy, prosperous, bright, glorious, successful, healthy, wealthy, and COVID-free New Year. See you very, very soon, having one more crown in your kitty.
Yes, we're trying. Thank you so much for having me, and it was a great opportunity to be here today with you guys and International TV.
Thank you very much. And this is our queen of 2021, who's won hearts. Look forward to meeting you yet another episode of Queens Forever, where we shall take you to another country and introduce you to yet another beautiful queen who is inside out, talented, and all there to share love, peace, and happiness in the world. Thank you very much, guys, and see you super soon. God bless.
Okay, so I would definitely like to thank our people that brought us here, River Comics, as well as IndusTV, the show that we're on today. Simran Ahuja, our host, she had an amazing time talking to me. I had an amazing time talking to her too, queen to queen. And also our amazing promoter, Mr. Bharat Goradia from V International Productions. And I'm very happy that he gave me this opportunity to be here today. So thank you to everyone who let me be here, and I had an amazing, amazing morning today. Thank you.